Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Onset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you have time, please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may be wondering about what I'm getting ready to talk about. Okay? All right, so I took a year to work on this. I talk to Aquarius all the time. And I took a whole year, about a year, asking people about this situation because I wanted to compare notes. Sometimes I do my little informal surveys. I might ask online or I might ask people that I know in conversations. And it's just all part of my research. So I was researching to see about Aquarius and sleeping habits. Now, I got this idea because several Aquarius came to me and told me they had issues with sleeping. So I was like, I've had issues with sleeping. So I wanted to figure out what exactly was going on. So what I found out from talking to the other Aquarius is that many of us deal with one or both of what I'm getting ready to tell you. Many of us suffer from insomnia, just the inability to sleep. And many of us suffer from sleeping too much. Two different polar opposites of the spectrum. But some of us deal with both of these at different times, or some of us deal with one or the other. I've dealt with both. So let me explain to you about Aquarius and these sleeping issues. Some Aquarius have a hard time sleeping and thus have insomnia because we're constantly thinking, analyzing, checking our lists. We're constantly overthinking is what I call it, analyzing things from every possible angle. So a lot of us have a problem with sleeping because our brain won't shut up. I know there are a lot of times in my life when I'm anxious, when I'm excited or something like that. Let's say I'm getting ready to go on vacation or something great is going to happen the next day. All my life I've had a hard time sleeping when I was anxious or excited. I remember every year my mother would be so angry with me because before the first day of school, I was always anxious. I could never sleep the night before. And my mother never understood what the hell was wrong with me. But what it is that I get horrible insomnia when I'm anxious, when I'm excited, when something great or not so great is expected to happen. It's really hard for me to sleep during those times. Another time I went through this really bad was before I moved here to Costa Rica. I decided I was leaving the country. I was going to go and travel the world. And it was a great idea. I planned it for like 2 years. I had a great little checklist of things I had to do to reach my goal, small goals that led up to the big goal. And right before it was time, my list was perfect, y'all. I had analyzed it and checked it off, read the immigration laws. I had done my homework, okay? And 2 weeks before it was time for me to leave, everything was pretty much in order, but I was anxious. I was so anxious, and I kept going over the checklist in my head. Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I pack this? Did I do that? I kept going over and over and over and over again to the point where I could not sleep. I was up for like 2 days before I finally decided I got to do something. And that's when I discovered melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that you take over the counter, and it helps you sleep. You have to take it, and the dosages are funny based upon your age and your weight, but you got to take it and basically go to sleep. Take it and lay down, and it will help you shut off. So I had to take that, and before I discovered that, I used to use Tylenol PM back in the day, and before that I would use NyQuil. I always had something that I was using, but I started using the melatonin because I wanted to get away from using, medicine and chemicals and things like that. So it doesn't happen to me all the time. It just happens to me when something is about to occur, like the day before vacation. I'm very anxious the night before vacation. I'm always thinking, did I get everything? Going through my checklist once again. making sure, you know, my reservations are okay. Does the driver know what time to pick us up? You know, I'm always in my head about those things. Did I, you know, get our, you know, our tickets? You know, did everything that could possibly go wrong? Is the Airbnb already? Do they know what time we're coming? I go over these things in my mind over and over and over and over again. And traveling for me puts me on high alert because I'm always looking and watching, because when you're traveling you gotta watch your back, you know, because you don't know, it's not a familiar surrounding. You don't know who's a thief, who's a pickpocket. You know, you have to really watch your back. And I'm with my daughter when I travel, so I'm really watching our back. So a lot of times, you know, when it's time for us to travel, the night before, I'm very anxious because I know I'm going to be on high alert all day until we get to the Airbnb. So a lot of times for Aquarius, this does cause us to have insomnia. Also, some Aquarius stay up all night because we love the night. A lot of Aquarius, not all obviously, but a lot of us love the night. A lot of us are night owls. We love the nightlife, some of us. A lot of us love the lights. I love the lights at night. That's my thing. When I first moved to Costa Rica, I was staying in this little casita on a hill, and all you could see was lights at night. It was a city that was down the valley, and at night I would sit there and just stare at the lights. I could stare at the lights for hours. Just sipping rum, staring at the lights. It was just so beautiful to me. And so a lot of Aquarius like the night, so they want to be up at night. They're more creative at night. A lot of us do our artistic projects at night, so a lot of us are into that. And so we'll have a reverse sleep schedule. We'll be up all night and then sleep in a day. So some of us have that going on. Now, on the flip of that, you have Aquarius who are constantly asleep. And some of them are asleep because they're up all night. Some of them are asleep because they're just lazy. Bottom line, some Aquarius can be very lazy. You know, they just kind of disconnect from the world and they just kind of lay around and do their own thing, you know. And then you have the other ones who are in and out of depressions. Now, when I was younger, I was constantly in and out of depression. From 13 to about 29, I was in and out of depressions. But I didn't really know that that's what it was at first. That's how I found the healing for it, because I started to research to figure out exactly why I was feeling that way. And I figured out that I was coming in and out of situational depressions. And it might be like 2 weeks in a depression, a week out of a depression, 2 months in one, 3 months out. I was in them and out them, in them and out them. And whenever I was in a depression, I was exhausted. That's how I knew something was wrong, because I would be so tired. And it started when I was like 13 years old. And I didn't want to go to school because I was so tired. And when I was asleep, it was the only time when I felt free of all the things that were hurting or burdening me or upsetting me, you know? So between those ages, I slept whenever I could. I would sleep all the time. My daughter would go away for the weekend. I would sleep the whole damn weekend, you know? Before I had my daughter, when I was younger, like 13, 14, my mother had the hardest time getting me to go to 7th and 8th grade because I was just so exhausted and just didn't want to get up. So that is a symptom, according to what I learned later, of depression. So some people, not just Aquarius, but some people in general who find themselves without energy and sleeping all the time, it's depression. So a lot of Aquarius told me they have one or both of these issues. Now, when I came out of going in and out of depression, I stopped having that issue with sleeping all the time. So I started to sleep pretty much normally, a regular 8 hours or so. And now, the space I'm in now, unless I'm anxious about something, I pretty much sleep very well. And not long like I used to, 7, 8 hours, you know, tops. And when I go on vacation, I sleep a lot. But I do that on purpose to get my energy, you know, my chi going back up, you know, get that juices flowing again. But it's not because I'm exhausted and I just have to. So the Aquarius wants you guys to know that many of us do have some sleeping issues. So if you think your Aquarius is lazy, they might be, or they might be going through a depression. And Aquarius don't always talk about what's going on with us. So, you know, an Aquarius could be going through a depression right under your nose. They could not even know that that's what it is. Because I swear, I didn't know that's what it was. I just thought that I had a lack of energy. Maybe because people would always tell me, oh, when you're big, you don't have that much energy. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm big, so maybe that's why, you know, it kind of just blew it off, you know. You're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. Yeah, that's true. So I just kind of blew it off like maybe it's my diet or my size. But it wasn't. It was the fact that I was coming in and out of depression. So whenever I was in it, I was just exhausted. And when I was out of it, my serotonin probably still wasn't that high. So I still was sleeping anyway. So Aquarius do have those issues. And like I said, when it comes to the insomnia, you can use something to sleep. But when you're exhausted and drained like that, it's not very much you can do but heal the depression. You know, and if you're lazy, you stop being lazy, you know. But if you're depressed, the only thing you can do is heal the depression. So if you know an Aquarius and they have these behaviors going on, that is probably what is going on with them. And they might not, you know, tell you about it. But maybe if you notice it and it's somebody you're close to, you can make mention of it. Like, you know, I noticed that you're not sleeping. Are you having some anxiety? Just ask them about it, because the Aquarius might not know what's wrong. Because remember, I told you guys, we don't always identify our feelings quickly like some other signs do. So your Aquarius might not even realize that that's what's going on. Okay? All right, guys. Come back soon because I have a lot more to say. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you would like a reading, please email me and I will give you an appointment. See you later.